So it seems lately DSP Darkside Phil has been going on a bit of a tour with different people, whether it be on his show or the Kino Casino, right? He did one with Keemstar, and that would for the most part it was whatever, kind of a little boring, but it was like kind of whatever, kind of what do you expect from the two of them, right? But lately DSP spoke to Null on the Kino Casino. And why did that matter, right? Why does it matter that DSP is speaking to the owner of Kiwi Farm? Well, to me, and I'll be truthful, during a little conversation, because Phil doesn't want to do interviews, but you can tell that's a bit of a lie in a weird way. His conversation with him was kind of interesting because like DSP known about DSP for a long time, obviously, because a lot of DSP detractors are on Kiwi Farm, and if you don't know somebody that is very much open about free speech. That is his number one thing he speaks about, right? I believe he did a stream a couple of weeks ago talking about that. He kind of got a little black pill, which is pretty funny. But in this conversation, DSP brings up the forum a number of times, and he kind of tries to gaslit Null to try to convince him, like, hey, I sometimes go to I go to this forum. It's my forum about me, and it's run by my detractors. Can you do something? Nudge, can you like nuke it or delete it? And obviously, Null's not gonna do that because that would be, that'd be a problem, right? And DSP was kind of trying to do that throughout the whole conversation, right? And I think at that point I felt that it was like kind of getting boring, right? There wasn't a lot to the whole, basically kind of an intervention or interview between these two, right? Because you can easily tell that like DSP really wants Null to delete his forum on the Kiwi Farm, but obviously Null is not gonna do that. Null is somebody who is very much open about how you feel about free speech, letting anybody, not everybody, there probably are certain things he will not let people do, but for the most part he's very open, he's very pro free speech, right? That's who Null is. And DSP kind of doesn't understand that, right? Because right now DSP is at a point where he can kind of leverage things to people. Now it's not working, right? He should just accept it as it is and not and let it go. And to me, I kind of felt that it kind of got boring after that, right? It got very, very boring, and I felt like that's when the conversation started to like go downhill. Now, obviously, prior before that, they were talking about a bunch of things. They were talking about each other, about his website, their histories, right? How that kind of weirdly connected. There were some things about DSP and how like he had a PDF as one of his moderators, which is like that's a whole different conversation, whole different talk in itself. Even the Kino Casino guys were a little weird out about them, and I wouldn't blame them. And you could kind of tell that Phil was trying to backtrack from that, but kind of didn't work exactly. But again, this isn't really about that. This is really more about that part of the segment where DSP really wanted Null to delete his Kiwi forum. Obviously, Null's not gonna do that, and it got really annoying because like DSP really was trying to push that, and Null was trying to be nice as possible to say no, I will not do that, even though maybe even if Null wanted to do that, his own principles. Null is somebody that has principles, right? He has to stick by them, because given his website, given who he is and the reputation the Kiwi Farm has gained over the years, is not a good one, obviously. Now, I would say that before I go further, I would say that I haven't really personally visited the farms, right? I've been more of a 4chaner my whole life. But I have visited at least a few times. I should be truthful about that also, right? I haven't really visited as much as most people, but I at least got in there like once or twice at the most. at the most. And it's not really something that nothing against the farm, nothing against Null really. I just don't really take the time to go in there. But it was funny that DSP really wanted to delete his forum. Now, mostly because that's where a lot of his detractors are there. And here's the thing: it doesn't really matter if Null. Let's say Null did agree. Like, let's say, I don't know, for some weird reason, Null had a change of heart and then deleted the forum. It's not gonna change anything. And Null was trying to tell DSP, like, it's not gonna do anything. Like, even if I were to wipe it out for whatever reason, what's gonna end up happening is everybody is just gonna go to a whole different website. It's not really gonna scatter them because a lot of them are interconnected, right? There's probably many of them who are right now, as we're speaking, are saving each of the conversation of that forum, right? All the topics and everything, all the informations. So to me, it's just like, it doesn't really matter, dude, because even if you do that, they will also connect. And this whole interview was just like Phil trying to get his way. It didn't work out, obviously. If I was Phil, I would just take the L, right? I would just been like, hey, I have all these detractors. Just man up in the middle of your problems, dude. Like, you're at a point where, like, you can take the time now to admit your faults. And once you do that, the detractors will lose leverage against you. And, I will have to eventually talk about the detractors in DSP. I will just say this much right now about that topic. The detractors are really, like, dedicated to DSP to the point where it's almost like a religion and in a very inverted manner. But that's with any locale, so whatever. But yeah, with their conversation, I kind of just, again, as I said, I found it boring towards the end, and I even just dropped it like the last 30 minutes. Because I just felt like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. This is a very boring conversation. Phil's trying to gaslight this man. Whatever. I'm just jabbing on about the same thing over and over again. But that's all. That's all I really got to say about that. It was a boring interview towards the end. So, have a good one, y'all. God bless.